Good morning, everybody. This is Jasmine Gonzalez. It's Saturday, August 13, 2022. There's a restaurant show today that I'm going to try to go to. But I want to take time right now to talk about certain things that I want to talk for a video blog. I want to talk about um, benefits that we workers have and benefits that we don't have in terms of the jobs that I have had over the past and the jobs that I have right now. I feel like it's important to talk about these things because um, not many people are aware of the benefits that come from a job. I think to me, one of the things that I enjoy most about some jobs is like some jobs provide you more alternatives of benefits. By benefits I mean vacation, if you get sick and all that kind of stuff. So I work at Walmart, and I was working full time at Walmart. Two of the things that make me stay at Walmart, number one was the pay. Walmart in 2021, I was earning 15.50 an hour. Eventually, in March of 2021, after I started, they bumped the pay to $17 an hour. Something that is difficult to come by these days. And honestly, before that, in 2020, I was earning like 12.50 an hour in one of the jobs, and I was unable to. I was scraping by, especially because I live in New York, and New York State, even here where I live in the capital district, what we call the capital district, which is Albany, Troy, Schenectady, and other towns and cities that are near this area. Um, I It was difficult for me to live, and $17 an hour changed my life completely because then I was able to afford certain things. It was easier for me to pay certain bills and that kind of stuff because I got extra money. I finally got a wage that it helped me. And I know 17 is still not great because it's still considered my level of education. It's still way below what I could potentially earn if I were to work as an engineer. Um, but $17 an hour, um, working in online grocery shop as an online grocery shopping person where I go picking or putting things or dispensing or sound great. And that's why I said was Walmart. In addition to, there are other things that I like about Walmart. It's like pay time off policy where I work and I earn hours towards vacation. Same thing with protected pay time off because Walmart has pay time off that it can be used for sick, vacation, or personal time. But it has protected pay time off that if you need to take a day off for any emergency or whatever, you can use that and it doesn't require approval. And that's one of the things that I like about Walmart, and many other companies around give those benefits. In addition, I hate 30-minute lunch breaks. I seriously hate 30-minute lunch breaks. Why? Because it doesn't give me enough time to recharge. I feel like I have to rush and eat my food really quickly and then go back to work. I hate it. I totally, completely hate it. Um, if you want to see how I feel about it and why, and a fun take on 30-minute lunches, watch Chris Rock. He has a skit of comedy about 30-minute lunch breaks. Um, I prefer a lunch hour, and Walmart default lunch hour is 1 hour. Walmart is not the only one because when I used to work at Home Depot back in 2015, even before that, I was getting 1 hour lunch if I work a shift. And yeah, it makes a shift 9 hours, but that lunch, 1 hour lunch, is just great because I can eat my food carefully. I don't need to rush into eating my food to get back to work. Unfortunately, most places they just give you the bare minimum, and it's funny because that's analyze how we workers have lost a lot of power. Because, for example, under federal law, number one, federal minimum wage is 7.25, which hasn't been increased in quite some time, which means that there are workers that are getting paid scraps for the work that they do, especially if they live in a state that has not increased the minimum wage. Um, and 7.25 doesn't do it, honestly. Um, you cannot afford living with 7.25. I don't know how people can afford it, but honestly, that is way too low. When you go to the store to shop for things, like it's brutal to pay for things. Um, So yeah, 7.25, the federal minimum wage. I think it needs to be increased, um, and that's something that the federal government has to do at some point. But with the politics as they are, I don't think they are going to be able to increase it because there's going to be a lot of opposition from the GOP. But I do feel it needs to be increased. In addition, under federal law, the Department of Labor doesn't stipulate lunches and breaks. So there are also, and I've been reading that there are places, there are states that also don't regulate lunch breaks or breaks like that. That it lets that to the employer and employee to decide on that. Which means that there are some employers that could say, "Oh, you don't get a lunch break and you don't get breaks, so you don't get any breaks." New York State has a little protection, and New York State, the bare minimum is like a 15-minute break for every 4 hours work, and you work a 8-hour shift. There has to be a rest meal period where you're not working. That is 30 minutes long. That is the bare minimum that New York State has for workers. A 30-minute lunch break that is unpaid. So you need to have that in the New York State. Most companies, they just give you the bare minimum, 15-minute break, 15-minute break in the morning, 15-minute break in the afternoon, and the 30-minute unpaid lunch break. And again, 30 minutes is just not a lot. You have to do the food relatively quickly. Like I hate it, honestly. I personally don't like 30 minutes of lunch break. Um, at the same time, some companies, they don't even offer paid time off. Some companies, they want you to wait a whole year of working for them before you earn the paid time off. It's like congratulations, you've been with us for a year. You finally have paid time off. Instead of like, I like what Walmart and Home Depot do. You start accumulating paid time off right away, and you have paid time off there to back you up if you need to. I like that a lot. I think more companies should consider doing that, especially when we are living with we are still kind of dealing with a pandemic and people can still get sick, and if you don't have paid time off that you can use, call it vacation or paid time off, whatever it is. If you don't have vacation or paid time off to cover when you are sick, you are pretty much screwed up, and then because you're going to lose points and merits or whatever it is for not being able to work. And then New York State passed a new law recently that it requires employer to provide, depending on the size, they have to provide paid sick leave, and it's up to 5 days, 40 hours pretty much, and you earn that right away. You have companies have the option of giving you that right away, or you accumulate it. And some companies you give you 5 days of sick, so like you can accumulate more than 5 days. So if I remember being sick with COVID for 15 days. I didn't dare to go out. Even now, like if you are sick with COVID, the guidance is like 5 days. You stay at home, isolating yourself. You can go back to work, but you still have to use a mask. So I just stay extra time at home because I'm going to go to work if I cannot even eat near people. So I rather stay home. So it meant that I went more than 5 days. So I have to go into a leave of absence at Walmart, get approved for a leave of absence to be able to, and not have to, because as Walmart didn't allow doctor's notes, like they didn't allow that. And I didn't also wanted to exhaust all my protected pay time off, but I ended up exhausting most of it. But I recovered that back because I went to work and I earned paid time off and protected paid time off. Other companies, you use a day, it's gone. You don't have a way of earning that again unless, for example, this new company that I'm working, unless I work a whole month and I get 4 hours, which is ridiculously stupid. It's pathetic. It's sad. It's garbage. Yes, I'm criticizing the company that I work for because fucking shit, we have to do that as we workers. Because this is ridiculous. We need to criticize the society that we live so always things can improve, because we're just being overworked for the benefit of a few and we are not having anything for us to help us. I'm just so disappointed that I sometimes don't even want to go to work at all. I rather work for myself. Why? Because I have more control. If I want to take a day off, I don't have to go and ask a supervisor, hey, can I take the day off today? No. Okay, fine. I don't take the day off. No. If I need to take a day off or need to take care of my mental health, I can do that without asking permission, because I'm just tired of being treated like a fucking child as a worker, you know? Oh, you don't show up, you get 1 point. Oh, you arrive late, you get 1 point. Okay, can I stay and work a little bit later to compensate for that? No, because in our rule says that you only can work up until a certain hour. It's freaking ridiculous. And it's sad, it's upsetting. And again, I'm losing my interest in working because of all the some companies policies. I'm just tired of being just working for somebody else, giving my time for companies that offer very little. I want my stay because of the pay time off, protected pay time off, and the 17 an hour. And I'm trying to find a different job that pays more. And I just moved with this other company just because I feel I need a change from Walmart to try something different. But when it comes to benefits, Walmart still has, in my opinion, better benefits. For me as a worker, I like Walmart better because of the work of the benefits that it has. Yeah, the job is repetitive and I feel like I'm stuck in there and that there's no way for me to grow and go into something else, and I'm not learning anything different, not even doing engineering. But then again, I'm not doing engineering in this other new job. But the benefits, in my opinion, are better when it comes to pay time off, protected pay time off, and even the lunch break. Walmart is better. It sucks to say that because a few years ago, what we were criticizing Walmart for not paying enough to the workers, but like right now, I'm getting paid well enough that I have stayed with Walmart for this long, and even now, it's like I don't want to separate from Walmart because in the other places, the benefits that I get in return, like pay time off, sick time, there's no protected pay time off in other in other companies. I don't have protected pay time off in the company that I work. I will. I don't like that. I really don't. I think that companies should really consider doing what Walmart is doing in terms of pay time off and protected pay time off. I like the idea of having protected pay time off. You earn it. I don't think it's going to cause employees to abuse it, but it gives employer more flexibility because, for example, there are things that get outside of control. Suppose you work for a company and your car gets damaged, or you are on your way back home and you realize that you got a flat tire. Next day you have to go to work and you don't have a flexibility because you have to have send the pay time off in advance, and you have to depend on your manager saying yeah or nay. You are going to get a point, and you are going to lose. You could end up losing your job. So having protected pay time off covers that oh, I'm using the protected pay time off to take care of this emergency situation that happened, and you don't lose your job. So I feel like those are good ideas that other companies should consider. The idea of having protected pay time off where a person can use either for a doctor visit or if a family member gets sick or other. And other doesn't have to be any explanation. Other, just some kind of emergency happens, I have to take care of it. I like that idea of having that with Walmart. Other jobs, they don't offer that, and unfortunately, that's the thing, that the drawback that I see about other workplaces, and that's why, even though I sometimes want to move to a different job, the thing that other companies don't offer protected pay time off, it's it's sad, and I get it because sometimes in manufacturing, you want the workers to be there because there's stuff that needs to get done, but at the same time, life gets in the way, and then you come up with this idea of like, oh, a point here, a point there, or that is almost like high school, and true, in Walmart we still have points. You arrive late, you get a point or something like that, and you have a X number of points before the company decide to ditch you. Same thing at other companies. I get it, I understand that, but at the same time, it's just like it just makes me feel like I'm back in high school again, and I don't like that, especially because when I was in college and I worked toward my master's degree, yes, I had to go and take classes and I had to finish my master's degree, but I work on my project on my own. The goal was not, and this is where this is why probably I would prefer to work by myself, because I'm more of a goal oriented person. The goal says that we have to complete something by this amount of time. Okay, fine, I will accomplish that by that amount of time or by that due date. I'm not the kind of person that likes to live in to work for a job that is like, oh, it's like high school. I like flexibility. I like to have flexibility. That if today I need to get a break today before going back to work on that, I can do so. But with jobs, I don't have that flexibility. I have to be there all the time, doing something, being productive, yada yada. And I hate that. As a person, I hate that. I feel like I'm back in high school. I feel like I have no choice. I feel like I have no control over my life other than what my employer dictates me to do. And I get it, because it's a job. You sacrifice your life, you give your control of your life at that moment to your employer, and your employer can decide what to do with you, what tell you to do. If they tell you that you need to go and throw the trash or clean the toilets, you have to do it because your employer just gave you that task. But I just hate that, honestly. And I don't know. Maybe it's the way that I see life, but I just can't coping for me with this things that life puts, the way that we have made life to work, or the way that we have decided, the companies have decided to to function. I just don't like it. I hate it. It feels so natural, in my opinion. And I don't know if it's me or it's the way that I view life, but like, I just hate being controlled by stupid rules like points that feel like you're in high school, um, controlled by policies that don't benefit the employee, that only benefit the company. Like, why will you not give me pay time off right away so that I can start accumulating? Why will you make me work for a whole year before you give me only 40 hours for me to take off? So you're taking my time, my my expertise for a year before allowing me time off. So if I get sick or if my car breaks down, I don't have that flexibility. I don't have a way to cover that. And you're going to give me a point on top of that because, oh, I was not there, so I earn a point for doing that. It's ridiculous. It's bad policy. And I think as workers, we need to try to find a way of improving these conditions, and it starts by talking about this. And I hope that by me talking about this and how I feel about it and what I think about it, we can go and try to force or have that discussion with our employer. And look, and I get it, because the other thing that prevents us from getting better work condition, employment conditions, is because we sometimes work in companies that don't allow unions. I know everybody gets scared about unions, but unions are the ones that have gotten benefits in the past. And there are companies that prefer that, oh, we want to be union free, we have open door policy, yada yada, but open door policy does very little because you can still get points for arriving late and yada yada. Um, I think we need to consider unionizing in some companies, honestly. I think it's the only way that we can, as employees, find better ways to get better benefits, get more stuff for us, because we are not getting those things. Walmart has gotten to a point where I'm not angry at Walmart. I think Walmart ideas, even though I may not be happy with my job and the stress sometimes that come with the job, the policies in terms of pay time off and protected pay time off are one of the best out there. And I'm glad that Walmart increased the pay rate, because also that has forced, from what I have seen around, like, pay rate for other workers in other companies to go up to. That's along with Amazon too, because Amazon increased their wages to 15 or more, and that has caused that other companies will follow suit in increasing their wage and their pay rate to their employees. So that has made it a little bit easier. Um, Unfortunately, is the pay rate $17 somewhere could I make could I earn more income? Yes, if I were to work as an engineer. But I don't, for my major, which is chemical engineering and environmental engineering, it has become very difficult for me to find a job in that field that would pay me an engineering salary. And even the jobs that I had, Walmart doesn't give me engineering experience. The new job that I started, which is as an electrical assembler, also doesn't give me engineering experience. I'm not designing anything. I'm not using any engineering skill. I'm just taking except for reading and interpreting the um, the the schematics and the wiring diagrams, which is relatively easy. I am not designing anything. I am not using my engineering skill to solve problems or to do calculations. I just make sure that whatever I'm building, I follow the schematics and the plans that the engineers have designed. So I'm not getting per se any engineering experience in that job, and probably neither are the other job that I will probably start soon. So that to me, that is frustration. Um, but I want to talk about this because I feel like I need to talk about this because honestly, it just sucks being a worker. It just sucks giving your time to companies that sometimes don't give you enough as a worker, and they just expect your labor, and if they don't give you anything else, I also hated working as a temp because as a temp you barely earn anything, honestly. And I'm glad that at least I've been able to find jobs direct hire instead of temp, because working as a temp totally completely sucks too. Or a temp, you don't have anything, you don't have any benefits whatsoever. As far as I know, I don't know if companies have changed that, but honestly, as a temp worker, I never got any benefits whatsoever. No pay time off, no protected pay time off, and they will frown. I miss a day at a work, the company can say, "Well, let's ditch this person," and I'll get ditched. Um, but yeah. Anyway, that's all I got for now. Peace, everybody. Stay safe, and I hope that you enjoy my video, and I hope that this video makes you rethink about what we in our society has for workers. And if you are a business owner or a business person, I beg you to consider the fact that we're still living through a pandemic. There are still diseases out there, like for example monkeypox, that if somebody gets sick, they will need more than 5 days to fully recover before they can go to work. And if you are starting new at a new job and you don't have paid time off because the company doesn't give you that, they make you wait a year, you are in a dire condition. And I feel like this is what knowing I feel like also this could be the reason why so many employees may have just backed down from the workforce completely, because what for? You are just earning a paycheck, but you are not getting anything. And if you get sick, the company is just going to fire you pretty much because they don't give you anything to cover yourself, like pay time off or protected pay time off, or they don't have a procedure in place that you could file. Oh, I'm sick with this. I may need to stay out for a little bit, like leave of absence. Well, I'm gonna make me file a leave of absence, but I got some money, a little bit of money, which helped me a little bit, because otherwise I would have not been able to pay for my needs, and that's important. Anyway, I went way too long, but I hope that this video reaches the audience that I intend to, because it's just unfortunate that we brag about being the best country in the world, but in reality, the way that some companies treat their employees, um, it shows that we are really not near being the best country in the world. Um, like there has to be better ways of doing business instead of the ways that we have just created. Um, and if somebody watched this and I get in trouble for watching this, I don't care. This is my channel, this is my voice, and this is what I dare to speak, because I'm really smart and I can see this and I can see how this is affecting me mentally and emotionally, to a point that I don't want to be part of the workforce anymore. If I had the choice of covering all my basic needs without having to go to be, without having to work for somebody else, I will do so, because I'm just tired of somebody else controlling my life. And that's why. I rather want to do something different. Plus, also, I would prefer to work on things that are more of interest to me. I like global warming. Global warming is something that I like. Science, environmental engineering, something that is more meaningful than just like, oh yeah, put this thing here, put this thing here, or just go pick and put this thing in this basket. I'm bored of that. I'm bored of that. I want to do something different, or maybe work for a company that I will. It will be into one of my passions, which is theater and entertainment. I love entertainment. I even applied to Disney because I would like to. I like the company. I enjoy seeing people having a good time, entertaining themselves. When I go to do wrestling shows, I enjoy hearing the crowd reacting, laughing, clapping, That to me, I enjoy that way more than just being bound by policies and regulations and somebody telling me that I need to work on this and focus on this only just to be productive and just not getting enough in return for my labor or getting paid very little money in hopes that eventually I can get a pay raise. I am tired of that, because this is it's just the way that I have seen things and the way that I see things now. It's just making me more depressed, knowing that I feel trapped in this system that we humans have created, and I just don't want. A part of me doesn't want to be a part of it anymore. Anyway, peace everybody. Stay safe. Bye.